I'm Lina.
And I'm Johnny.
And we're from Lina's Music House.
And today we'll be talking about quitting. I've quit many things in my past. I've quit basketball, my diet, I've even quit music.
Did you know within 2 to 3 years, 50% of music students quit?
50%! And today's video, we'll be covering why people quit music.
The number one reason why students quit music is because they don't get to learn the music they like. When you first start music lessons, we learn from a series of books, and these books cover songs and pieces from all around the world. So you may or may not know the pieces.
Children and adults and myself all like to learn fun pieces. We all want to learn pieces that we actually know and we can sing to, like lullabies, jingles.
That's true.
The pieces, the series of books that we used is the same series that I've learned on when I was young, and I have also quit piano because it got a bit dry, got a bit boring, because it wasn't fun.
Well, the music in the books don't actually go through everything that you would want to learn. It's just whatever is suitable for your level at the time.
Exactly. So when it gets to those points where I don't know, I lose interest and I don't practice. And I just eventually get worse and I quit it.
Although my students have to learn boring songs and pieces in the books, they're still excited and happy, always jumping, skipping to class.
It does help to have a great teacher, but when I teach the boring section of the book, I can see my students dragging their feet to class.
And I get that too. My students have times where they just don't want to have their lesson when they've got art class at school. They'll prefer to do art.
Fun, that's the main thing. They like to do fun stuff. They will prefer art over music because it's the boring section. Whenever I see my students learning those boring sections and I can see their face not smiling, I can see they're just not practicing, I would say, what piece do you want to learn? Pick anything. They will normally pick popular music like Justin Bieber, Taylor Swift, and I'll try my best to look for those pieces online, the simplified versions, and I'll say, you know what, I will get you this piece if you just hang in there a bit longer, practice these two pieces, and I will get back to the fun stuff very soon.
And the problem is a lot of the students love to play fun songs, but the fun songs that they like are always way above their playing level, and that's why you have to find simpler versions of the songs, so you can't just go looking for the original.
That's what we need to do, is just to bring back the fun into practicing, into the books, that will help them not to quit so soon.
As a teacher, we need to make boring things fun. So with all the boring songs and pieces that we're learning in the book, there's always ways to make it much more interesting. And what I do in my lessons is that I did an experiment. I played the music to the student. I knew it was a boring song, so I would just play it in a boring way. And then they just went, I don't like it, don't want to learn it. And then I went and played the song again. I sang the music, I brought it to life, I made it into like a performance like what you see on the school holidays, those productions, and suddenly their eyes lit up and they went, I really want to learn and play this song now. So that shows how much of a difference it makes when you bring the boring music to life.
It definitely helps to have a great teacher that can bring the music to life, but as a learner, you have a duty of your own. You need to persevere through those boring pieces and those difficult pieces. You just have to have your eyes a bit further to set yourself a goal, saying that, because why did you learn piano in the first place? Because you probably listened to a very, very hard piece and went, I really like this piece, I really want to learn this piece. And you hold on to that piece. You know what, this part's hard, but I want to learn this piece, so I will persevere through this hard part to get to where I want to be. But very important, you talk to your teacher and tell them, communicate with them to say, so they know that you want to learn this piece eventually, so they can work with you to teach you stuff, the techniques, the skills that you need to eventually play the piece that you want. If you don't communicate with your teacher, you'll find out, eventually, you feel like you're not getting catered to, they're not giving you what you want, and it becomes less fun for both of you guys, and then eventually it will become boring.
The second reason why people quit music is because they have no time.
Classic excuse, having no time. I have no time to eat healthy. I have no time to go to the gym. I have no time to find a girlfriend.
But you have time to Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, and YouTube.
Okay, I guess I do have time. And I guess I choose to procrastinate in my time, to watch a TV show, to do everything except practice.
So it's a choice of yours that you've actually chosen to use your time on social media and other things other than piano. So realistically, we can't expect high results from putting in minimal effort.
We can't really expect to attend a music lesson once a week for 10 years and become an awesome pianist.
I have a student from the primary school. She's been learning for 6 years, comes to her weekly lessons during the term, never practices, and still on book 1.
I have a student that started at 3.5 years old and learned for 4 years with me, and she's in grade 4 AMB exams. And it's amazing how much she practices at home. I teach her 3 lines every week. She comes up with 4 lines complete. More than what I teach her. She does beyond what I expect of her.
And that's the thing. Both students could be learning for 6 years, but then the student who practices can get way further. So just because saying you've been learning music for 6 years doesn't mean that you just become good at it because you've done it for so long.
If you really can't find any time, turn off your Wi-Fi. Turn off your phone. You'll find out life's not worth living, but you'll actually find time.
And if you really don't have time to practice and go to lessons, then there are ways to actually download apps so you can play musical games, you can go to concerts, listen to songs, so that you're still surrounding yourself with music. As long as music is part of your life, then it will be all good if you want to, later down the track, pick up from where you left off.
So it's not about not having time, it's more making time for things that you like.
The third reason why people quit music is pressure.
Pressure is a big thing. We get it from external and internal. Let's talk about external quickly. Like we get pressure from our parents, from our teachers, from families. All that pressure they give us becomes expectations. So once we feel that expectation and we feel like we're not good enough to deliver, it builds up a lot of pressure within us. We try our best to deliver expectation, but it slowly builds up and it becomes less fun, less pleasurable. Eventually,
you crack under the pressure. And I remembered when I was 7 years old, I went for a piano competition and I completely blanked out on stage and I couldn't continue. I just kept going back to the start, repeating again and again 4 or 5 times. And then a lady walked onto the stage and walked me off and said, "You don't have to play anymore." And that emotionally scarred me for life. I completely quit doing any other competitions, despite what my teacher saw in me. She saw potential in me to maybe pursue a performing career, become a professional pianist. But then I was so scarred by it that I completely stopped it. I didn't want to continue. And it's because of this pressure that I had from my parents maybe, my high expectations from the people around me, because they believed in me. And then the pressure in myself, I cracked under pressure. And because of that, I did pursue performing as a career at a young age. And I stopped it completely. And now that I'm a performer, I think back, well, if I was that young, I didn't really have the help to help me get back up again after I stuffed up on stage. And so I chose to stop it completely.
Well, as a piano teacher, I'm not much of a performer myself, but I had performed back then and I had immense stage fright and it was not fun. And it was the pressure was getting to me and I found that it was not fun. I don't like this pressure, so I quit. So even till today, I don't perform.
Another student, she always cried during preparation for exams. Near exam time, she would cry even more, nearly every day. The parents were heartbroken because she was crying so much. It was like tearing their family apart because they had to keep trying to encourage her every single day. Because if you're a parent and you want your children to learn music for fun, to enjoy it, and then you have your child who's crying every single day, you have to decide whether you want to just quit their lessons or to encourage them to move further. And this family encouraged their daughter, using this situation to encourage the daughter, like, you have to achieve this goal. You promised us. You need to keep your eye on the goal. You know, we made a promise that, you know, you will let you quit your lessons after you complete this exam. Just get over this line. And this student of mine, she did it. She went into the exam, but she cried for the entire exam. And I didn't know that until the examiner said to me, did you know the student was crying from the start of the exam all the way till the end of the exam? And I'm proud of her because she stuck through. Although she couldn't handle the pressure, she still learned an important skill, although she was crying all the way in her exam, that just do it. Even if you have pressure, just do it till the end and then it'll be all over.
It's good, and it also builds character and it helps with building up tolerance to pressure as well. And we're really proud of our kids for actually going through that and actually overcoming that pressure they felt.
And a good thing that I found that came out of this story, the student that cried through the exam, is that although she did end up stopping her piano lessons, she actually picked up saxophone. As teachers, we try to encourage our students to do the best they can. And the thing is, we have to try to avoid giving the student pressure to actually having to do an exam, having to do a concert, but to actually encourage them and to give them the confidence to do it themselves. So that's what I always do with a lot of my students. So I don't force them to do the concerts, but the thing is, I do whatever I can. I give them fun pieces and I give them the confidence so that they feel that they can manage the pressure at a concert or an exam, because I teach them everything they need to know.
As a parent, I've always told the parents to not compare their students or their child with other children in the same age, because I really find it very stressful for the individual and also very unproductive for me. It's like I'm learning the boys. I'm not talking about genders, I'm not talking about ages, I'm just talking about, just don't compare them to anyone. They learn at their own pace, or rather you encourage them and they say, oh, you did a really good job today, I'm very proud of you, instead of saying, you only got through 2 pages today, your sister got through 5.
As a student, I find that a lot of students put pressure on themselves, and that you really need to stop comparing yourself to other students. I know it's very hard, but the thing is, everyone's different, everyone's unique. Everyone's got different strengths and weaknesses. So a student might be able to memorize very easily and you can't. But the thing is, you can play and improvise much better. Or maybe there's other things that you can work with from what you're good at. So the thing is, we need to stop comparing ourselves to other people. Embrace our uniqueness and also do the best you can. That's all you can do. The fourth reason why people quit music is because of extended breaks. An extended break is anything longer than a 2-week holiday.
That's right. Like, I can't even remember what I did 2 weeks ago. So I can't imagine a beginner, a learner, can actually remember what they learned last 2 weeks ago.
A lot of students, after 1 week of not having lessons or practice, start to forget things. And after 2 weeks of not practicing and having lessons, they forget half the things that you taught them.
And as a beginner or as a learner, it's actually quite shameful that you're going backwards in something that you're learning.
And even as adults, when we actually know something, know a word, and then we can't remember what word that is, it frustrates us.
And definitely if we have to go back, it kind of builds a little bit of pressure because I need to catch up to where I am, and it becomes a little bit of lower self-esteem and self-confidence. So why can't I do it anymore? I could do this 2 weeks ago. So the ways you can go around with this is try to bring stuff on your holiday. Like, yeah, everyone has phones. Take photos of the music sheet you are practicing with, and try practicing on the
tabletop. If you're playing the piano, then you can practice on the tabletop and imagine the keys in front of you. Any other instrument, you can imagine the instrument. So actually practicing by imagining your instrument in front of you is a very effective way of practice. You actually don't need your instrument to practice on.
And also sight reading is a major one, takes the biggest hit, is to look at the sheet music and actually just call out the letters individually and try to play it with the right fingerings to actually just don't lose that skill or make it so you keep reminding yourself at least.
Or you can bring manuscript paper, write out some notes to name the notes. You can download music apps to name the notes, like a musical game, do a bit of that, 5 minutes every day. There's always different things out there that you can use to help you continually do a little bit of music every day. The fifth reason why people quit music is because of having a bad teacher.
Let's just say not the right teacher for you, because there are plenty of different teaching styles with a lot of different students.
There are teachers who are strict, who are more motherly, who are more energetic and trendy.
You just need to find the right teacher to pair up with the right student and to build that connection, to build up that rapport and build that nice environment, the fun environment for both of them.
As a good teacher, we want to be able to make music lessons fun so the student is looking forward to come to lessons every week. So the student really wants to just forget about everything and connect with their teacher every week.
As a student, I would advise you to really communicate with your teacher, to really open up to him, tell him what you're after, what you want. But as I was saying before, pairing is very important. If you start to find out that you are losing passion for music, maybe it's because of the style of the teaching, just to try a few different trials from different music institutions, just to see if it helps you to rebuild or rekindle that music passion in you.
As a teacher, you can feel the student is wanting to quit lessons when their attendance starts dropping, they start not coming to lessons, maybe cancelling last minute or taking extended breaks. And a way around this is to maybe not to focus on progress anymore, just on focusing on having fun and try to get the student to look forward to coming to lessons. At least that's the thing you can do, get the student to want to come to lessons first before focusing on progressing. There are many reasons why people quit music. Some things we can't control.
But there are many things we can. Hopefully this video helped you reignite the passion in music.
We hope you liked this video and it will help you to continue your musical journey. I'm Lina.
And I'm Johnny.
We're from Lina's Music House and thank you for watching.